Welcome, all you plus 2 comedy modifiers, back to Solving the Witness, a laid-back, annotated Let's Play where we try to find the deeper, underlying meanings of Jonathan Blow's The Witness. Though this might be the last laid-back episode, if you catch my drift. But we're going to take a look at the deeper underlying meanings, and we always start by looking at the comments from the previous video. Pedro Paulo says in the comments that he's going to give the cynical answer for why there are so many different footstep sounds, because we talked about in the previous episode how we saw the repeated asset of the panels, how there would be 3 regular panels, one with a broken frame and then another panel with a frame. So this led to the conclusion that in a game where there are so many different footstep sounds, why would they reuse an asset like the panels? Pedro says, Jonathan Blow said that the reason for the incredibly high amount of footstep sounds is that most of the time it is the only sound that the player will hear. So it is important that it is varied, or it would break the player's immersion. It would break the meditative state the game wants to put players in. That is not something that is needed for the visuals, even though repeated assets in the game, visually full and different stuff, the whole thing of the game looking. To quote Blow again, the witness is about seeing things and noticing you are seeing things. This is a decent argument, but I would say it actually lends more to my argument here. Yes, The Witness is a visually stunning game. There's a lot of things. It's all about noticing little things in the environment and puzzles and things you may not be paying attention to suddenly meaning something to you. But for a game that is this beautiful with the running waters and the illusions, you spend, I want to say 80% of the game staring at panels. So why reuse an asset of the frame over and over and over again if the footsteps need to be different to stop from the breaking of the immersion of this being a game? Then the same should be done with the panels. So I'm not sure if I agree with you there. But Pedro Paulo also goes on to say that the color puzzle is the second hardest puzzle in the game. So it's not that bad that I struggled on it. Draken says that he wanted to go a little bit further on his theory that the game takes place in the player's mind. We talked about that in the last episode. Draken goes on to say, I realized that I may not have expressed myself well enough when making my point about the simulation taking place inside the subject's brain. What I think is that the team is actually rewiring the brain without realizing this is what they are doing in order to build the game. World in a certain specific way. So yes, I think the idea that they have built the island to look exactly the way we are viewing it right now. But the audio log with the people discussing things also talks about it's just dreams, which means they are actually experiencing this world firsthand, but they're also worrying about it being dangerous. I honestly think that the intention is that the subject's brain chemistry is literally getting destroyed by the fact that the game world is overwriting their actual brain. It's basically Inception. They are taking something and implanting it in the brain, even though it's just a thought, and it's rewiring the way that they see the world. I think that is a very good argument. I think that is very possible what's going on here, that this is all a simulation, and beyond just realizing things, its presence in the brain is kind of rewiring the brain and making people see the world differently. I think that's a good argument. Draken goes on to say that the color puzzle is one of the easiest puzzles because that's a thing that he could just figure. It's whatever. Whatever. Let's get on with the Let's Play.
Welcome, all you plus 2 comedy modifiers, back to the stream. Welcome back to Solving the Witness, a laid-back, annotated Let's Play where we try to uncover the deeper underlying meaning behind Jonathan Blow's The Witness. I'm here once again from the Black Void, and I got 3 more puzzles to do, which is a lie, but I got 3 more puzzles to do. I got this one here, I got one down in that cove down here, and then I got the pillar puzzle here. And now that I do that, this looks suspicious. Let me just take a quick peek at that because that looked like an environmental. I should mention, good evening. I should mention that I am, no, maybe not, or maybe from a different angle. I should mention that I am currently at 477 panels plus 83.
So I'm jumping in to do a little bit of color correction here. While editing this and while playing this, felt like the yellow on yellow was really hard to read, so I did some color correcting just to make it a little bit easier for you to view as I'm doing this. It'll go back to normal once I'm done solving it.
And now we're doing this bad boy. All right, so we screwed around with this a little bit earlier, or last time. The yellow on yellow, not conducive for the stream, or me, really. So we got these guys, which I can turn into just straight up a block of 6 if I wanted to. So if I did a block of 6, could I do a block of 6 that because that would be 5 across though, so it would. Yeah, it doesn't really work well if I just simply do a block of 6. And I can rotate them, which is important, because that means I can do something like this. That would be the two of them together, just as an example. God, this is so hard to see. I hope it's better on the stream. Maybe it's just my TV, but the yellow on yellow is super not good. And then, of course, we have the single dot, which we can just add in. Great to see here. Good. Just kind of screwing with some ideas. What if the 3 was what if the L block is here? And then that would give me an extra. No, I was thinking something like this. That's no good. I could always just not have them touch, but like I feel like I gotta get them to touch. Yeah, I think you have to put those triangle-y things together in a weird way. Yeah, I think just a group of 6 is not going to work. I'm just kind of like trying to envision it. I could overlay them. So it would be like this? Is that right? Yeah, that would be right. That is correctly making that shape of the two, we'll call them triforces. So that is an option. I guess I could also like put it in the L block, so it would be like this. Am I looking at that right? No. It would be like this if I hooked it up with the L block. That would be there. And then if maybe I can add in this. No, the way I'm adding it would be the worst. Okay. All right. That broken link in the upper half is so you can't make the T shape out of the 2 on the left. T shape. not sure I follow. I'm pretending the L block is here. Just this is just for science. And then I can pretend that there's another piece like here. That's like this piece. I know I'm not making it 100% correct right there. And then, well, what if there's another one? Like if it was like that. Oh man, this is weird. Hey, Brock. I'm trying to envision a shape that uses all of them. Like, it's just the two L blocks. No, yes. That's just the two triforces. All right. So then let's put the L block in. And if I put the L block in, it'd be like here. Yeah, but that doesn't work because we don't want to do that. All right, here's a fun idea. Let's say that the first triforce is here, just for fun, and then that the other triforce is inside it like this. Let's just start with that as our first shape, all right? What could we do here? We would need, well, that doesn't include enough of the things. That's not great. Are you watching Nopron? I love doing Nopron. I have to bring back Nopron Classic. I haven't had time to like really focus on that. Let's pretend it's here for fun. No, I did that backwards. Did I? What did I do wrong there? Oh, sorry.
Just want to jump in and talk about not prawn. We're talking about the not prawn riddle in the chat, and I'm also saying it out loud as I'm playing. If you don't know, not prawn is the hardest riddle on the internet. It is my most popular series on this channel, and people still send me messages about it to this very day. It is one of my favorite things that I've ever done, full stop. So be sure to check out the Not Prawn Riddle, or just watch my Let's Play right here on the channel.
I can't, okay. Let's start up top and solve that way. So let's say this is the L. That's an easy way to get these guys involved. Then well, this could be the 6 if they stack right. And then I could, in theory, just incorporate it like this. That would be right. I think I got it. I just have to do it the other way. I think this is it. Aha! All right. So okay. Just to explain, these two blocks are married together to make the 6 piece here. Then this dot is here, and then the L block is here. And that's how you capture all of them. Boom! This really looks like it's going to be one. I'm going to go downstairs and have a look at that. I'm going to be real, that was the puzzle I felt the best about out of the three that I have left. Oh, Pedro made it too. It's the Solving the Witness crew. All right, let's do this. Okay. So, I've done this a lot by counting the squares. is the way I really like to do this. That might not be the best thought. So let's pretend the L block is here. This is the L block, all right? And then the R piece up top is like right here. No, that's too many squares. 4 plus 6 is 10, plus 4 is 14. It's going to be 14 squares, and this is 12. So my assumption is that it's one of these patterns here. And if it's not, it means I have to go in more and use like this lane. But we're just trying it out right now. Right now we're just trying. Trying the old brute force method, and then once I have it, I'll probably be able to see it better. How are you guys doing? Coming up next on Solving the Witness is my first struggle bus level, or first struggle bus episode, where I can't seem to do it. I fail. And I have a very difficult time with one. I think I did this backwards, maybe? I'm just trying to see the pieces. Stop making the error. Hey, David! I still say, on the bottom, put the R on top of the L. See, that's what I was doing before. I mean, actually, this is wrong. This is just easier. So, like, you see the L is here, right? Picture that in your brain. We're looking at the bottom, and that looks like the R. Or that looks like the L piece that's laying down. The R piece going on top of it would look like this. So that's what's there. I'm just kind of picturing it in my mind. So then what's up there? That's the R piece. No, the R piece is already used. So this is impossible to be correct. This is impossible to be correct. If the R piece is on top of the laying down L piece, there's no place, well, the little L would have to go like here, and then there's no place to put the S piece. That wasn't actually wasn't actually David M, was it? Because I will freak out. I'll have a fangirl moment.
So just want to jump in and just explain this little weird bit that I say here. David enters the chat, and there's talk of it being David M. David M is the creator of the Not Prawn Riddle. This is someone that I personally reached out to because I decided to stream his game online and, in a way, kind of spoil it. And I wanted to get permission from him before I did it. I never actually heard from David M. I heard from a lot of people who said that they have talked to David M, but I never actually got to talk to the man himself. So the idea of him popping up in this Let's Play freaked me out for a moment. It's not David M, but that's why I was like freaking out for a moment.
All right, so let's just say that there's two here. So let's say this is here, right? That makes the most sense to me logically. The tiny L is here. Nope, just another. That's okay. I still appreciate you being here. Let me just say, as a small-time Twitch streamer, as you can tell by that number right here, it is absolutely insane to me that I have any audience. The fact that they're all international is mind-boggling. So if if the small L piece is where it is here, I can then imagine the S piece is on top of it. Right? So I'm kind of imagining like, and then imagine I cross out here. That wouldn't help at all. That doesn't, it doesn't really work. I'm trying to imagine, because then our piece would have to be like here. Yeah, this puzzle. Yeah, you're from the EU, of course, but still all international. As a dude from the States. What if it's something dumb like that? Well, no. And an American. Oh, that was still wrong, wasn't it? Yeah, I feel like getting some right. Yeah, it felt good to get some right. Right, I know I can mix up the shapes. But like, what I'm kind of imagining is this block has, this tiny L, we'll call it, tiny L. I feel like it has to be here. Because that's the only way that you can really have two blocks here, right? So if these two blocks, the two blocks I'm circling, are like this, and this block here is not part of it, and this block here is not part of it, then the way this has to work is this is the lower, this is the small L, and this is the R. It's the only way it really works. So, if I, because let me just, yeah, that's not what those shapes are though. Maybe if I picture it that way, it'll actually help me. It doesn't help me at all. I mean, I could go out too, maybe, like, I'm picturing this is here. No, I'm picturing this is here. So that the easy thing to imagine is that the S piece is here. And then if that's going down like that, the only way to fill in would be with the R piece, which would mean that it would have to jut out like here, which I don't think makes sense. And then it could always cut in weirdly like this, but that's the wrong shapes. Yeah, that's, maybe this is it backwards. Maybe it's, no. Right, I'm trying to imagine how I would create a symmetrical shape here. Because, like, it has to jut out because it has to at some point be 3 across. We know that because of this. So at some point it needs to jut out. The only other thing that juts out would be this guy. So we basically know, whoopsie, that these two squares here, I mean, how does symmetry work? Hold on. If it's like this, okay, Okay, so this is kind of good data. On the left would have to be the L piece, and on the right would have to be the R piece. That doesn't work there. So let's do this. All right, so I'm picturing the L piece there, which doesn't work because then there's no way to create any shapes with the bottom two. So we could imagine the L piece here, like this, which would make that the R piece. That would make this the R piece, which is impossible because there's no way to do anything that way. Oh God, this sucks. This. Okay, that's pretty good. Because what you can picture at the top is the R piece in place. No, because the R piece can't be there. The R piece has to be down there. So that's not it. I could imagine the L piece here, but that doesn't work. It's unsolvable. You can't rotate. There's no rotations in this one. None of the pieces are askew. They're all locked in this position. I just want to prove that. I don't even know if I can prove that. Nope. Nope. Here we go. See, it doesn't work because you can't rotate it. Okay? You know, I've considered doing that quite a few times. I feel like it's not good for the show. Because I would have to, like, switch cameras and, like, really work on it. But, we'll step away and come back to that. And if I get real frustrated, I'll make some shapes. Let's go to the pillar. Your pen and paper just called me. They really miss you. Sorry, I like technology. I don't have anything up here to solve, do I? What is this area? No, I did these. These are all good. Okay. This is still not an environmental puzzle. Really want it to be for some reason. Still isn't one. Okay. It's like a monster lurking in the corner. Is it still there? Oh, it is. No! I hate this puzzle so much. I'm just kind of admiring its weird architecture. And I got this guy already. Right, I did get this one. I think I got that one. I'm 99% sure I got that one. And I can't see what I think is another one from here. Okay. Pillar time. Thank you for the encouragement. Okay. You told me not to overthink it. So my plan last time was to just go all the way around. Now I'm touching all of them once. And then boom, now I'm touching that one twice, that one twice, that one twice, that one twice, that one twice. That one's already been touched twice. So then I come up like this. Yes. Touch all these once. That one's already been touched. Go back down. Nope. touching all of them once. Once. That was already being touched. Come up. This one's not being touched at all yet, though. So it'd have to be here. 1, 2. Ooh, I don't think I can catch this twice ever. No, I can't. Unless I do like this. I'm not touching that one twice. So it would have to be like blam, twice, twice, once, twice, 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 twice. Hey, how about that? Oh, hug the pillar. Mwah. I'm the hero of the day. You heard it here first, folks. Hero of the day. What is that? That was just a light. Hey. Did this open? Who are you? Who are you, puzzle? Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so I have to make the 4 squares, which should be easy enough. But I also have to do the suns, so I can do them like that. And I didn't do it right. Alright, so I can also slide them over. Well, no, I can't. This one has to be separate. Because it has to be only 2. So it would have to be... Oh, this is tough. Unless it's like this. And then this one is separate. I'm just kind of like... I know this is wrong, but I'm just kind of parsing it out in my mind. Well, because they're green, they're not suns though, so they can work with a sun, but they don't act like suns. So, so I could, in theory, do this, boom. Do this, boom. But then I don't have enough squares. I don't have enough squares. I can't do this. That's not going to work. Oh, it's not even giving me the clues. Okay. And I could just kapow, kapow. Oh, I can't kapow all of them. Oof. Oof. I'd have to do this. Or would I? Or would I? Oh, drat. I mean, if I really want to be adventurous, that's a possibility. That's actually maybe not that crazy, but hold on. Picture it in your brain. Picture it in your brain. See it in your brain. Hold on. Right. No, that's way wrong. Is it? I mean, I'm not used to looking how to combine the pieces, but on this one requires you to concentrate which one not to connect. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a little nuts to try to make this the square like that, and then have all these guys end up inside with it broken. So it would have to be like, just trying to think how I would do this. It'd be like this, and then like this. Just to kind of screw with it. Then there would have to be squares there, there, and there. Oh my god!
Okay, it's theory time. So, this is a very unique puzzle. Based on the way it looks, the obvious solution is to just create 4 squares. The suns will match the symbols of the squares, the Tetris pieces, because they're the same color, so that does the pairing rule. It is that simple. You would think that the answer would look like this. This is another puzzle in the game. This seems to be the easiest solution, but because of the entrance and exit of this panel, that's not a possible solution. Where do you think that puzzle came from? That puzzle that popped up to show the way that it should be solved? Where is that from? That is the puzzle to get into the windmill. When you get into the windmill or you reach the windmill, this is the puzzle that opens the door. It's basically the only way that you can open the door. This is the only way you can really do this puzzle. And it makes a windmill. It makes 4 prongs in different directions. So where do you think I am on the map at this point? Like, I know I'm in the underground caves, and I know I came in through the mountain, but I also covered quite a bit of distance in this secret area. We now see that, like, there's a shortcut out that leads me just kind of above, like, the algae farm area or the Tetris area of the island. So the way that I keep continuing, where am I in space? I think I should be roughly under the windmill. So it seems to me that what this could be representing, could be visually symbolic of, is I am entering the windmill in a different way, to the point that it doesn't even resemble the windmill area anymore. That's why it doesn't look like a windmill. That's why this panel, even though it looks like it should be solved the same way, is entered a different way, and thus exits a different way, and thus I'm in a little bit of a different space. Both panels appear on a door and are used to open a door. So this is my broken windmill theory. I think this panel is visually symbolic of entering the windmill in a different way, to the point that it doesn't even look like a windmill.
Yo. I like it. I like that puzzle a lot. That is a great puzzle. Hello? 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 Oh, I'm getting baptized. All right. Thank you. I feel like the hero of the day. But now open. The last part of this is brute force. Oh, there's a box in there. I'm guessing there's a panel to open it, but it's on top, so I can't see it from here. What I think that is, I would say this is another windmill puzzle, because it's in one of those boxes. That's what I would say. And this is a face.
You know I'm gonna make you wait, right? Like a big thing's about to happen. We can't just tack that to the end of an episode. That's its own episode. But thank you so much for joining me for another edition of Solving the Witness. Let's talk about takeaways. This was a lot of struggle busing, so there's not a lot of takeaways here. That's just the way it is. So, what do you think of the knot prawn riddle? And what do you think of my broken windmill theory? That this is a door that enters the windmill in a different way and thus does not resemble the windmill. But I'm going to say that basically with this theory, that the area I am entering is part of the windmill. Let me know what you think of that theory in the comments down below. Thank you so much for joining me for another edition of Solving the Witness. I hope you're having a good time. Be sure to follow right here on +2 Comedy Gaming to catch up on all my past live streams. And I will see you next time we try to solve the witness.